Welcome back to the Community Review on Hot 92.3. I'm Josefa Salinas, your host. You know, every time this lady comes into my studio, I just get so happy and excited because we have known or been in each other's lives musically for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. No matter what radio station I was at, somehow these songs always seem to come on the playlist no matter what station I was at, unless it was a news talk. Yeah. And then we used the bed for something, I'm sure. In the house with us today, it's Miss Wanda Vaughn from The Emotions.
Hi there, everybody.
How are you?
I am so blessed, and I'm just so happy to be here. I'm excited about our new song that we have out called Life, which my daughters have written for us, and their aunties couldn't be prouder.
Aww.
And we've been getting a lot of feedback for it, and they'll hear it when they come to our event August 13th.
Yeah, let's talk about this event. It's called A Midsummer Night's 13.
Yes.
It's a fundraising event where you liberate yourself.
Yes.
Tell me all about it. It's happening at Pasadena City College.
Yes.
The Piazza Campus Center?
Yes.
Okay, that's on the CC building, first floor, 1570 East Colorado Boulevard, Pasadena 91106. It goes from 6 to 11 with dinner promptly served at 7.
Yes.
You get a gourmet dinner, incredible poetry, comedy, live music, a live DJ for dancing, gifts, cash prizes. Sounds like an amazing night.
Amazing. And they get to sing their emotion favorite songs with the emotions. So I can't wait to do that.
Yes. Now, we want everybody to dress nice for this event, too.
Right.
Come on now.
It's a masquerade, too, you know.
All right, let's talk about this. Midsummer Night's 13. Tell me who you have with you here.
Oh, this is my daughter, Wanda Vaughn,
Hi.
one of the writers of our new song. And Wendy and Wyan started, and our family started the Be Liberated Foundation.
Okay.
Right, and so the whole 13 thing is that it's a book of poetry, and this particular event will also raise money for the family's foundation, which is called the Be Liberated Foundation. It bridges educational gaps through edutainment. That's entertainment and education together, which we are doing, and definitely for the community. That particular website where you can learn more about the foundation is www.wisdomlovevision.com. And for you Facebookers, you can also find out things at www.facebook.com/13 poetry. That's just the number 13 in poetry. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We have some celebrity guest poets coming out as well.
Yes.
And some guest star performances. So it's going to be really fun.
Oh, it sounds like an amazing evening. And plus, it's just so pretty in Pasadena anyway.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yes. So where can people go for ticket information? Would that be the wisdomlovevision.com?
They can go to wisdomlovevision.com, and there will also probably be a link there to direct them to the Facebook, because there's so many people that just seem to just be on Facebook already. So the Facebook with the /13 poetry, that's also a really good way to get more information right away. If I'll go ahead and throw out a number as well that they can call 818-438-3218. You can call that number to get more information for the donations. There's a standard donation of $50 for the admission. Once again, it's going to go toward scholarships for young people as well as people in the community, because we're trying to educate them on things that matter for their high school. But then sometimes we need to know about financial literacy or health literacy, things that can help us really just be holistic people in this community and in our society. So all of that will be addressed at the event as well. So we're looking forward to getting people there.
Yeah, and because they're school teachers, Wendy's an English teacher at LA Unified, and my other daughter, Wyan, is a math teacher. And so they do these outreaches, like the one at 88th in Vermont with Yo-Yo, the rapper, and with Monique. And
they're doing
Beverly
a Yo-Yo
Todd.
School of hip hop. That's what it is.
Yo-Yo school?
Oh,
So she
there
is
you go.
using edutainment.
Oh, yes.
Yes, and I went there. We visited there, and these kids from 7 to 12 years old, and you know how they've taken spelling just out of the curriculum for some reason.
Yeah, like
They
we don't
have
need to know
them
how to spell.
spelling- When I was in there, they would do words like in a rap, but it would these long words. And how do we spell that word? They go, and I'm like, they're actually getting a spelling bee, and it's not. Oh, we got to do a spelling bee. But that's a major thing, especially in the community today. When they go to college, they write all these wonderful theses, and mostly they get corrected on spelling because they took that out for some reason
I
of the
know. I don't know. I
curriculum.
mean, come on, spelling was fun.
Was fun. I
Especially
loved
when
it.
you made it fun.
I loved it, and they have taken it out, and then that phonetic, the way they have the kids learning by seeing the picture instead of the actual phonetic, we know that's backwards. But they do that, but we're trying to show them through entertainment because that's something they get no matter what. They make sure they get the entertainment. So if they can wrap these words, they can also wrap formulas to algebra. My daughter has come up with a way they can wrap algebra 1 and 2 formulas to remember them. Wow. And I've seen it. So it's and with 88th in Vermont, we're doing it. We're doing it at different manual arts at different schools, high schools, and younger kids we have too. So from 7 to 12. But it's a lot of work, but it's so rewarding. It really is.
Well, we've got to find innovative new ways to reach kids for education because we've taken away so many of the basics. And then you're sitting there wondering, like, oh, why do the test scores keep going down?
Okay.
Well, you know what? You took away the basics, but then you also have to realize that in presenting the basics, you've got a generation now that responds in a different way. So why not take that same basic information and start presenting it in a more modern way, but don't lose the basics.
Don't lose the basics. That's it. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
So congratulations.
Yes, and it can be done. We wanted this to be on a national level, and it will. We have when you come on our sites, you'll see the ideas we have. And I know Michelle was here. Was so inspiring. She was addressing this situation at the beginning of the year and how we can have the communities to do with it. Sometimes, you can't get to some of these senators and Congress, but you can go door to door. That is still a great way of getting information out, and that's what we're doing from community
at the community level
to community.
Absolutely.
Children to child, parent to child. We have to strengthen that like it used to be. I was always had a PTA and having some, but who thinks about that now? It still should be a main force.
Well, that's one of the things that we've got to realize is that clearly government's not coming to save us. Okay, they're not. They have so many issues of their own. They're not coming. We have got to start pulling together in our communities. And the biggest thing I think that I'm trying to educate people on is how much power you have.
Yes.
You do not understand how much power you have. It seemed like there was about a decade where people were blinded into believing that they do not have the power in their community. They do not have power in their schools.
Absolutely.
They can't go into their schools and demand better for their children.
Yeah.
But you can.
You can. You can.
And I'm not going to stop talking until people realize how much power they have. And there is power in numbers, but numbers can be 2.
Yes.
It can be 3. It can be 4.
There you go.
All right. Yep.
Get people going. Get people excited. Find one other person that's passionate about what you think is wrong. But don't just sit there and say what you think is wrong. Have a suggestion for a solution.
There it is.
Yep.
Yes. Because there are people who are interested, and some of them aren't all on the internet. Some of the parents that we deal with, they're not on there, but they're in the community. They're outside watering. They're saying something to the children, and that's where you have to be. Where they entertain themselves, where they, and you can do that. We can do that as parents and as teachers. So
very true. So again, it's a Midsummer Nights 13.
Yes.
It's happening at Pasadena City College, the Piazza Campus Center, right there, 1570 East Colorado Boulevard in Pasadena. It starts at 6, goes to 11. There's a dinner that will promptly be served at 7. Now, what are we going to find on that menu?
Oh, they're chicken. It's like a mushroom chicken with this gravy. We have vegetables that are sauteed in garlic. There's going to be an all-night dessert buffet, which is just going to be off the hook. So, yes, exactly.
You got me right there at dessert buffet.
You guys are going to have an amazing time with that. The entertainment is going to be just off the hook with the poetry.
Live band.
Yes.
Our band, and then we
have
friends.
And of course some
Nicole.
DJing, for us to have some nice dancing at the end, get a boogie on.
Not just electric slide. We'll do other things. My favorite is electric slide.
Right, okay. A gourmet dinner, an incredible poetry, comedy, live music. It's going to be a wonderful party. Come on out and join us. Midsummer Nights 13. It's a fundraising event for the Be Liberated Foundation. www.wisdomlovevision.com or 818-438 888-3218 for more information. And, of course, I'll have all of this information up on my webpage at hot923.com. Keyword, Josefa, come on out. Let's have some fun together. It's going to be so much fun. I hope I see everybody out there. This is going to be such an amazing event.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you, Josefa. And as always, you've got the best of my love.
Yes.
Oh, yes, I do.
Yes, you
I
do.
That's one of my all-time favorites. Every playlist that I make, it always goes on there. The best of my love.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming down. Anytime,
yes.
Mikasa Sukasa, my mic is your mic. You are
Thank you.
always welcome. Again, the website is wisdomlovevision.com. For more information, 818-438-3218. And let's give them the date and again of the
August
event.
13th.
It's August 13th.
It
And you
starts at
will
6
see
p.m.
our new song, the Emotions new song, which the public will be really hearing about. My daughters did the video. You'll see a lot of people in there that you know.
Okay, so when's the video going to be
Maurice
up on
White.
the
Well,
internet?
this is on YouTube. So
It's
if
on
you go
YouTube.
and put in the Emotions new song Life, that's like a nice little keyword. It'll come up. And we basically put it up so that they can get a taste of it, but it'll be ready for download within the next couple of weeks. So
Very
it's
good.
a
Yes.
little taste.
And
for
August
you.
13th is connected to it. So you'll
All
see
right,
that
very
live,
good. And we
you'll
can
see
hear
a
it
lot of
performed
celebrities
live by the
Yes.
Emotions that night.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes,
August
thank
13th.
you.
Come on out and join us. Pasadena City College, the Piazza Campus Center, 1570 East Colorado Boulevard. The fun starts at 6. You'll be getting dinner served to you promptly at 7. So make sure you come on
gourmet,
time.
yes.
Okay, don't come at 8 and then look around for dinner.
Hey.
Come at 6,
Yes.
have some fun, sit down, have dinner, and then sit back for a wonderful night, and I'll see everybody out there. Moving along on this Sunday morning, we've talked about so many things that are of great concern to the audience, but I think there's two things that always come up. They both begin with H's. Home ownership and health care. These are two huge topics of discussion across the United States and especially here in Los Angeles. So I said, you know what? Let's try to think about this health care issue and figure out maybe what went wrong from the beginning. Because according to an author who's written a book, Over Our Heads, a new book helps Americans understand why health care costs are so high. He says when you're trying to solve a problem, it's important to have a good grasp of how the problem developed. If you want to shape the future, you first must seek to understand the past. The history of America's healthcare system is complex and often confusing, so he's framed it in a simple yet heartfelt story that people would want to read. On the phone with us, Mr. Stacy. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Josefa. How are you?
I am absolutely fabulous, and I'll tell you, the book was really a joy to read.
Well, I appreciate that. That clearly means you are a good judge of literature.
Yes, it does. It's Over Our Heads, an analogy on healthcare, good intentions, and unforeseen consequences. So let's start talking first. And can I call you by your first name?
Absolutely, please do.
And it's Rulon?
Rulin, right?
Rulin, okay. Rulin, you're a PhD, so you've obviously done a lot of research on this. Let's talk about how in the heck did America get into this situation with healthcare?
The reason I wrote the book is because my background is in healthcare administration, and all the time as I go out and meet people and talk to people, they ask me, why are healthcare costs so high? And then sometimes they look at me like, you creep. How could you do this to me? And I've always taken a little bit of offense to that. So I wrote this book so that every American can read this and understand what caused the problem and hopefully help us avoid that again in the future. That's my goal.
Okay. So just give me a couple of examples of how we got here, because it's certainly, I mean, I've had my own private health care for at least 15 years. No matter what job I've had, I've always paid for my own health care because I never wanted it to be interrupted. And you change jobs, boom, you get new health care. So,
Absolutely.
And it was always affordable for me. And what happened? How did we get here?
Well, I argue in the book that what happened is that every time over the past 30 years that the government has gotten involved, they've messed it up just a little bit. And the analogy I use is like a grocer, somebody trying to run a grocery store. And let's just assume, and you can go through this in your own mind, what would happen if you were running a grocery store and you took food stamps, for example, and somebody would come in with food stamps and they would give you $1 of food stamps and you would give them $1 of groceries. Well, what happens if the government started to reimburse the grocery store owner, instead of the full dollar, 95 cents, and then 92 cents, and then 87, and then 50. Well, the grocery store owner would take the exact same actions as have the healthcare industry. They would have to start charging more to the people who did pay for their groceries, and one thing would lead to another, and that is, in essence, so I argue, how our healthcare costs got so high. We started to mandate that we give an amount of care away to this person or this person, and I'm not arguing if that's good or bad. I'm just saying that it's expensive. And if we're going to do that, then it's going to raise costs for somebody else. And when those costs start to go off the chart, it makes people crazy, and rightfully so.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes when I look at the bill from the doctor, and this might be the example you're talking about, where the doctor says, okay, it's $400 for this test, and it's $250 for me to even have spent 15 minutes with you, and $100 for this other test. And the insurance company goes, no, we're going to give you $200 for that test. We're going to give you $125 for her coming in to talk to you, and $100 for that other test. So then the doctor goes, well, okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So if I go back to my analogy of if somebody comes in and the food stamps start to reimburse at 70 cents, then the grocery store has to start charging somebody else 120% to make up for that. And then they'll have somebody come in and say, you know what, we're not going to pay that much. We'll pay you a little bit less. And the grocery store owner is going to say, okay, we'll take that. We'll negotiate that amount with you and something more with somebody else, because what we're getting generally from the people who are either have no insurance at all or insured by the government is so small that we'll make it up in any way we can on somebody else. And so in walks you, who wants to do everything to be responsible and pay your bills, and you are one of the ones who gets the higher bill, and you look at that and think, well, this is madness. How can it possibly cost this much to take care of health care? Well, the fact is it doesn't take that much to take care of health care, but you're one of the few who pays for health care, and you've got to cover the freight for the last several who have gone through, because, as I outline in that book, the government has mandated that. And it's, from a society perspective, is it the right thing to do to cover for everybody? That's a decision we all have to talk about. I personally think it is, but it just turns out to be very expensive, and we have to be ready for that.
Well, then how do we fix it? Because if you're going to allow people to come into, emergency rooms and things without insurance and take care of them, how do we fix this so that, insurance can be affordable for everybody, so that we can all have insurance? Because if it was affordable, I think more people would really try to have it.
Well, if it were affordable, if we didn't take some of the people who were getting their health care for free or for substantially reduced, then there would be fewer who had to take more, and from whom we had to receive more. And so that's one of the things, is that if everybody has to come up with something, then the burden on the few is lessened. And I think the answer for health care, in my book, I get a little depressing on it, and I admittedly so, because I take the current situation and I take it to its logical conclusion. What happens if we keep doing what we are doing? And the last chapter, my wife tells me, is depressing. You're just a depressing human being. I was hurt by that. Sweetheart, how can you say that about me? No, it's just depressing. And that's what happens if it goes to the logical conclusion. But I do think that there are things that we can do. We have more than enough resources to take care of the people in our country, I believe. But I do believe we're going to have to start making people be responsible for their own actions, take responsibility for their own health care. The law that was just passed, the health care legislation that was just passed, included in it no tort reform. And while there's debate as to how much tort reform plays in the health care crisis, it's not reasonable to assume that it's zero. It's got to be something more than zero. I think there's a lot of incremental steps. And in the end, people like me in my real job, I'm a hospital administrator, we can provide better care less expensively. It means that we're going to have to become better at finding the best practice and then making everybody do it that way. We've kind of become too independent and we've allowed some doctors to do it one way and some doctors to do it another way. We can't do that. We've got to find the best way and then make sure that everybody does it that best way. And there are things like that we can do going forward, incremental changes to healthcare reform that will address some of these issues, I think.
What about, because this has definitely been proven, the hundreds and millions of dollars that are spent on fraud by doctors with the Medicare and Medi-Cal?
The fraud is it is so disgusting that it's even hard to talk about it. When we're in a situation like that and we find people who will and there's a lot of different ways to do it. If you're doing a 3 bypass heart surgery, you can sneak in there a 4 bypass heart surgery and get paid for one more. And it doesn't even have to be big things, but there are clearly things like that happening. And I think that in fact, from what I've been able to read, the number one goal of the government is to try and stop those kinds of things. Now, this is what I do for my profession. It's my life. It's what I do all day, every day. I have to tell you that I don't see as much fraud as what I think. I think they think that this is a silver bullet and that they'll be able to go out and find all the people stealing all the money and the problem will go away. I think it's more complicated than that. That having been said, those people make people like me who are trying really hard to do it right look so bad that I kind of hope they cut off their fingers or something. That might be an overstatement,
Okay.
but it's unacceptable, and it is out there, and we do have to fix it.
Well, the book is Over Our Heads, an analogy on healthcare, good intentions, and unforeseen consequences. Thank you so much for writing it in a very colorful and imaginative way to give somebody an idea of a different perspective on how to look at this healthcare crisis. It's something we have all got to address. It's not going away. And with more people like yourself bring up possibilities of what the cause could be, I know that the solution can't be far off.
We'll keep working on it. Thanks so much for taking the time.
All right. Have a great day. Moving along with the pulse of the community. I can't even believe it's this time of year again, but we're already thinking back to school. And somebody who is just a little bit ahead of the game here, Anaheim Town Square, and representing them on the phone today, Danielle. Hey, Danielle, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Absolutely fabulous, and just loving this community health fair and fashion show that you got coming up on Saturday, August 13th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. You're going to have merchant booths, an obstacle course, a rock wall, giveaways, face painting, DJ, a balloon artist, and a blood drive with the American Red Cross. And there's also free backpacks that day. Please tell us a little bit more about it and give us some more details.
Well, we're very excited to invite the community to come out for a final event before everyone goes back to school. And we have a great fashion show, and all of the fashions will be put on from the stores at the center. So you'll be able to see Susie's Deals, Kmart, Fashion Joy, and a lot more, and all of their back-to-school specials, along with a lot of health promoting. We'll have a blood drive, bounce house, obstacle course, and we're really excited to get all the kids excited about going back to school.
Yeah, it's always fun when people start gearing up for back to school. I tell you, I don't know what it is. The older you get, it seems like the summers get shorter. I don't know what it is, because it seems like the kids just got out, but you're right. They're heading back to school Saturday, August 13th. Anaheim Town Square is doing their part with a community health fair and fashion show. It goes from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Come on out and join them. For more information, you can go to AnaheimTownSquare.com or call 714-956-3411, and I'll make sure that all of this information is up on my webpage at hot923.com. Keyword Josefa, but try to give them an idea of where Anaheim Town Square is.
Anaheim is located on the corner of State College Boulevard and Lincoln Avenue, right off the 57.
Oh, that's real easy to find. And we'll make sure all that information's up on my webpage. Again, it's the Back to School Community Health Fair and Fashion Show next Saturday, August 13th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Jimmy's going to be out there, and so will the street team. It's going to be lots of fun with all kinds of music and a blood drive and face painting, obstacle course, merchant booths. And, usually when stuff like this goes on, all the stores in the shopping center all have great sales and things going on. So come on out and join them. For more information, again, go to AnaheimTownSquare.com. Danielle, thank you so much, and thank you for doing this for our community, and we'll see you out there next Saturday.
Thank you. I hope to see everyone there.
All right, time for me to get out of here. Have a terrific day. I'm Josefa Salinas. Until we get together again, stay strong, stay focused, and most of all, stay informed. I'll see you next Sunday on the Community Review, Hot 92.3. If you're looking for something to do today, come on out to Dockweiler Beach. The Gillis Volleyball Tournament is happening. It's a fun day for the entire family. Come on out and hang out with us.